In today's video, I am going to be breaking down Liangelo Ball and his three-point shooting form. He is clearly, this year, one of the top three-point shooters so far in the Summer League. So let's get down, let's check out his shooting form. And do I think that he will make the Hornets this year? Well, I'm going to really explain that at the end of this video. Okay, so this first shot was slightly off balance, but he made it a set shot going straight up. I really do like his shooting form when it comes to his upper body, and he has a really quick release. If we put this in slow motion, and we rewind it just a bit, and we press play, we can really see that from his gather up to his set point is extremely quick. And we can see this on multiple occasions as well right here. We can also see this off of the pass when he goes up to his set point. Now this one really freezing as a two-set motion shot. Of course, still a really good shooting form. So the one thing I really want to do is focus on his base first, and then we're going to move up his body. When it comes to his base, he generally has his feet shoulder width apart, his right foot being slightly ahead of his left. We can see this on this occasion here. We can also see it here as well. However, we can also notice that sometimes he does bring his feet closer together, but he was not exactly set at first. He had to go up and sky up to get that ball. He does have a dip on his shot. Even though it doesn't dip all that far, he does dip his shot. He also does bring that ball up the middle of his body as well, which is actually quite refreshing versus the Lonzo and LaMelo that brings it up the opposite side of their body and chucks it from the opposite side of their head. Even though Lonzo's fixed his shot, LaMelo is still going on with his shot. We can see this here as well, where he dips that ball on his way down from catching it and then going up for his set point. We can also see this here. He tends to have the dip when his body is still coming back down from receiving that ball. So that actually speeds up his shot quite a bit. We can slightly see it here where he receives that ball and then he actually dips it slightly when he was landing, and now he's going up for his shot. Something I do also notice is that he's generally pretty balanced, even though he's off balance here. What I mean by balanced is his shoulders being in line with his knees and pretty close to being in line with his toes. He's also looking at the rim as well, which is extremely important. Now, the way he shoots, he is actually one of those players who is almost pretty well squared up to the basket on set shots. However, when he's coming off of a screen, he does still tend to be pretty well squared towards the basket, which is very interesting to me, as many players now, to get that elbow underneath that ball, they tend to tilt away from the basket. And we can see here from this shot that he is squared towards the basket. However, that ball is down the center of his body and not over top of his elbow or his shoulder. So meanwhile, his elbow and shoulder are straight towards the rim, which is half of that shooting triangle I always talk about, but that ball is off towards the side, which means that it should actually miss out towards the left side, in theory. However, we actually see here that Liangelo Ball actually shoots with a thumb flick, very similar to a Kyrie Irving, as well as a Steph Curry, and even a Larry Bird, who I just recently broke down, but that video has not been released yet. When he does release the ball, his elbow does get above his forehead, which is going to give him the arc, and he has a somewhat soft release, again, very similar to Curry. However, when we get a very good look at his release, we can see that he has a hard wrist but a soft finger release, which is a hybrid between a Curry as well as a Michael Jordan. I can also see that when he does release that ball, he does tilt his body away from the rim, which could be the other reason why that ball's been going into the net, with it not being set perfectly, having the ball over top of his arm. With him twisting his body in air, allowing his elbow to be in line with that ball when he is releasing, as we can see here, a quarter to half of that ball is over top of his elbow. That means that with that slight twist when he starts shooting and that thumb flick combined is actually allowing him to score a lot of his shots. Now, I wouldn't suggest players trying to shoot like Liangelo Ball to do this, mainly because it's extremely hard to learn a thumb flick. It's also extremely hard to be consistent with a twist on your body when you're going up for a shot. We also see that he releases that ball really nice and high, and then he does drop his arm when he's landing on the ground. Now, some coaches or trainers may say, well, leave that arm up forever. Now, all I'm saying is as long as you leave your arm up by the time you land, you should be fine. The issues that you will have if you release too fast is you'll drop your arm too fast, which would then affect the spin, potentially the arc, as well as the power that you have on that ball. So by leaving your arm up as long as you're in the air, and as soon as you land you can drop it, you should be fine. I really do like when he comes off of screens, he hops off his right foot to land on both feet. This is actually something that I like to teach my players so that now they can actually have a set shot coming off of a screen and roll. Overall, even though there's a lot of different quirks with Liangelo Ball's shooting form, I really do like it. It tends to go in. He was, 5 for 7, 5 for 8, somewhere in that range in his first Summer League game. To me, that is a very good shooter, and if he can continue shooting like that, I think that he could make the Hornets. Let's remember, he doesn't exactly play point guard like LaMelo. He's more of an off-ball scorer, which could be a nice setup for somebody like LaMelo when LaMelo is driving to the rim or looking for that alley-oop. If there's a player who collapses to basically stop the alley-oop, that could be an outlet for a pass for an open three-point shot. I think that Liangelo could really make LaMelo's life a lot easier. Plus, they kind of have the combination between the two. They've been playing their whole lives together. They're brothers. I really think that those two players could be an absolute amazing combo together and could actually, maybe 5 years from now, help the Hornets contest for the NBA championship. But that's my own opinion. What's yours? Hit me up in the comment section below. I'll see you guys again next time.